guys, and welcome to round 3 of the V8 Supercars, all the way from Melbourne this time. And Ryan, a big surprise. Jeff LaRue first race out in these cars, and he puts it on pole.
Yeah, good evening, guys. And yeah, like you say, Melvin, the Mustang's actually topping off the charts there, taking first and second for qualifying. Unfortunately, Donny van Rooyen not having the best of qualifyings. I don't know if he wasn't feeling comfortable or not, but yeah, qualified fourth overall. But let's see if he can pull through with preserving his tyres. Back on home soil for the V8 Supercars, and there's plenty of action to come.
Yeah, a lot of good turnout. Some drivers unable to make it, and they are off. And Jeff LaRue getting a fantastic start there. Donny van Rooyen there in fourth place at the moment, so he's got his work cut out for him. You see Jaco Wisse there on the inside of Jeff, but Jeff has the upper hand. Jaco slots into second place, followed by Donny van Rooyen. Ryan Ludik in fourth, and then it looks like Lyle Ramsey there in fifth place.
Yeah, Lyle having an absolutely good start there next to him, Melvin Goos there. A lot of work to try and work through the field there.
Guys pushing really hard, just trying to get the sound sorted here. Guys, on the stream, if it's too loud, just let us know. But, and look at that, Donny going on the inside of Jaco.
Jaco almost losing it there, going a little bit wide. Tyres not up to optimum temperature, so a bit squirmy for the first 2 laps, I suppose.
Up to second. That's Ryan Ludik there on the inside of Jaco Wisse. So Jaco losing a lot of places in the opening lap, going from second to, is he going to drop down to fourth place? Looks like Ryan might have to move on him. No, not yet.
He hasn't cut it yet, yeah.
So currently forward 1, 2, 3. Then we see the first 2 chefs in the hands of Ryan Ludik and Melvin Goos. Ryan now breathing down Jaco's neck, and is he going to be able to make a pass as they go towards the tight right-hander? Ryan on the inside there, he's lined him up. He can make this move. Is Melvin going to try and go for the move as well?
Just about follows through.
Bit of
right contact here, and Yanni could see her there in the background going off for a bit of farming there. You see now Donny van Rooyen there attacking Jeff LaRue. I don't know if Jeff made a mistake, but either that or Donny's just made exceptionally good progress catching up.
Yeah, Donny on the rear bumper of Jeff there. Donny is going to try and get in front of Jeff. Jeff absolutely flying during qualifying. He has got the pace, and can Donny do anything about it?
Well, Donny is not leaving any room for error there, that's for sure.
See there from Jeff the stream. I hope the sound is a bit better now. But we see the fight for the lead then, and look at Ryan Ludik. Ryan Ludik now slowly catching up to Donny as well. So this might turn into a 3-way battle very soon if Jeff doesn't pick up the pace.
No, that's for sure. And yeah, like I said, Donny not quite feeling too comfortable at the moment. He's got a lot of work ahead of him. He's a real big fan of these cars and really gels well with them. And this evening seems like he's really struggling.
Yeah, he has not got the pace, and he actually likes this track, so I'm not sure if he picked the wrong setup or something went wrong, but yeah, he is definitely lacking the pace he usually has. And I don't think it's going to bother him too much though, because he is leading the championship, and already being in round 3, I don't think he'll be too worried about Jeff ahead of him.
Oh, that's for sure. And also we don't know whether he's just preserving his tyres to foresee him through the rest of the race. Although it seems like he's pushing relatively hard though.
If you look at the line he went through there, yeah, he is really pushing the car. And we see the 2 Camaros now also gaining. Really close guys going on here between the top 4. And then Jaco Wisse not falling too far back. It's on the rear bumper of Melvin Goos, and really pushing that Mustang as hard as he possibly can.
No, that's for sure. And between the top 5, anything can still actually happen. I mean, they are so close. You know, one mistake and there's 2 or 3 positions gained. So, still anyone's game at the moment.
Well, in the background there, we see for 6th place, it's Lyle Ramsey and Michael Rust also having a massive battle. Michael trying to line Lyle up there. Will he be able? It does not look like he's got the speed.
Not got enough. But it seems to look like Michael Rust running quite a soft setup there. It looked like he was bouncing on the road.
very, very different strategies by all these guys. All of them on the soft tyre, and Lal almost losing it there as he just touches the grass into the entry of Ellis. And so you can see Lal really pushing, and Michael is not going to hold back. He's going to try and get this position, and Michael, an old-hand at this. He knows when to attack and when to hold back, and I think he's currently just scaling him up and looking where he's making mistakes, where he can get past him.
He's definitely having a great sniff there, that's for sure. But Lal definitely a lot sooner on the power though. Whether it'll work for making the rear tyres last, that is still yet to be seen.
Yeah, very interesting strategy. Some of the guys fast in, slow out, and other guys slow in, fast out, and we'll see how it pans out towards the end of the race. And then the tyre wear, as you just said, Ryan Ludik there now. So Dani has fallen back again, not sure what's going on, but Ryan Ludik now on the rear bumper of Dani van Rooyen there. Will Ryan be able to pass him, or will Dani be able to keep Ryan behind him?
Well, it's going to be an interesting one because Donnie is not the easiest person to pass, and defends really, really well, but really, really aggressive in terms of making sure that he can try and stay ahead.
As we go into the main straight there, Ryan not quite close enough to get the slip there. And as you said, Donnie, not the easiest customer. He knows where to put the car to keep you behind him, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Oh, that's for sure. And yeah, you can see him really, really attacking the corners really hard there. So is Ryan Ludik there at the back as well.
And then you can see the Mustangs also just noticed it, but look at the Mustangs, how low to the ground they are compared to the Camaros. It seems like the Chevy does not like to run that low, and all the Camaros currently running a much, much higher setup, so to speak.
Yeah, it's been the general feedback that the Camaro is not liking the low setup, really unsettles the handling characteristics of the car, and I think it's got something to do with a centre of gravity with the roof lines being a little bit lower. Not quite sure, but
Ryan's really on the limit there, and you just saw the car bouncing around in the back, and so these guys are definitely at 110% and not holding back at all.
They're really, really pushing hard. I mean, it's really these cars are, it's got 150% of your concentration, and you've really got to work hard at it.
And Jeff Leroux already coming into, it looks like he is catching up to some of the back markers already. Yeah, I think that is the car of Fernando Berger. His first race out with SRA, and gets well out of the way to let these guys through. Oh, and Melbourne runs wide, he goes into rail. This is going to allow Jaco Wiese to catch right up. Jaco slowly falling away, but this is going to allow Jaco to come right back into play.
Oh, that's for sure. I wonder if Melvin got caught out by the back marker, not judging the braking point, but yeah, very unfortunate, but working in Jaco's favour there.
Yeah, for sure, and Jaco we know is quick. Going to be interesting to see how his tyres last towards the end of the race, and I think at this stage it's all about tyre game. The guys saw in practice and qualifying that the tyres goes off, and in the background there we see Michael Rust, but we have lost Lyle Ramsey. So Lyle Ramsey running into the wall, and yeah, unfortunately for him, end of his battle with Michael Rust there.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate, but it gives Michael Rust some clean breathing room there.
And then another loss. We have lost Ryan Ludik. Ryan chasing Dani very, very hard, and then connection issues on his side with the internet, and sadly Ryan out of the race then.
A real big bummer there was that is down to race in between, but yeah, nonetheless we've still got a very hard battle here for first and second, and Donnie's got a lot of work cut out for him, but having some breathing space behind him.
And you can see Donnie losing all the track that he can, trying to catch up with Jeff, but Jeff has got the pace and he's got this car dialed in perfectly, and it doesn't seem like Donnie is really making headway and catching as fast as we would like.
No, it's definitely, like I say, maybe not feeling too comfortable, or it's a tactic to make the tyres last. We can't really say at the moment, but yeah, all will prevail.
It's going to be very interesting towards the end as we go through the field. Currently in third place now, Melbourne is taking third place after Ryan unfortunately disconnected, but look at Jaco Wiese. Jaco Wiese right there on the rear bumper, So Yaku has found some pace and he is surely catching up to Melbourne at the moment.
Yeah, I think Yaku setup really allows for good longer stints, whereas in the earlier laps, getting tyres up to temperature, the setup doesn't quite work too well.
You see Michael Rusty in 5th place, nice looking monster car there, but yeah, if any of these guys in the front makes a mistake, he's going to be right there to take a position, but not really in a fighting position to chase them down at the moment, I think.
Definitely, you know, it's one off could cost you 20-30 seconds at least. It's so difficult to get these cars pointing in the right direction after going off. Really, anything could happen.
And you see there towards the back, Peter Seldenhuis there having a bad start, but keeping it on track. He's being followed by the car of Ernest Heather there, the Castrol Ford Mustang. Behind them we have got one of our new drivers, Taylor Randall. So the car's tyres really did catch him out, and just getting used to it and just getting into the groove of these monsters, so to speak.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, talking about tyres catching out. Ooh, big slide. Well done.
He's onto it there, and yeah, and also Ernest Heather, they're using the road a bit more, but back to the lead, and Jeff Leroux again maintaining that gap between him and Dani. So Dani is struggling with his car, or Jeff is just extremely quick tonight, because Dani in actual fact is not slow. He is in 2nd place and he's pulling away from Melbourne, so Dani not that much of pace. Jeff is just at this stage quicker than Dani for sure.
And I must say, I think at this point, everyone's doing it about half a second to a second slower than their qualifying times. So, you know, still very respectable race pace, considering the extra fuel that is needed for the race. The guys still really pushing hard.
Yeah, the fuel. I'm not sure about the Mustangs, but the Camaro's running around 46 to 50 litres, and you really feel it in the car. The braking, the acceleration, even the handling, it changes completely. And as the race progresses, obviously as the fuel goes down, the car changes and the tyres wear down. So it's not an easy car to drive. Never mind drive it hard and quick.
No, that's for sure. And driving it smooth as well. Huge aspects of driving dynamics here.
You see, it looks like Dani might be catching up a bit. It seems they're catching up to another back marker. Will this play into the favour of Jeff, or will it play into the favour of Dani?
Well, Jeff doing really well at the moment to keep Dani from running at bay. Oh, and Dani loses it there.
So that's
the grass really biting hard. Oh, almost touching the back marker there. Fortunately avoiding it. That has worked in Jeff's favour and not in Dani van Rooyen's favour. What a curveball.
So the top 4 actually starting to spread out now. Dani having lost a bit of ground there. And Jeff comfortably leading at the moment. And I think he knows if he can keep up this pace, he's got this one in the bag.
Yeah, I can pretty much guarantee you Dani van Rooyen not very happy at the moment. You know, incidents on track definitely doesn't favour him. Got a lot of work ahead. At least he hasn't lost out too much time.
Oh, he's still in 2nd position, so he's got to be happy with that. He's got the points that he needs. At the end of the day, that's all he wants to do. He wants to bag as many points as possible and try and retain he's leading the championship. And with the current standings as they are, he is definitely going to do just that.
Oh, that's for sure. Oh, and he runs a bit wide there. That's not going to work down well.
It seems like he might be struggling with tyres. Looking at Jaco Wiese now, Jaco Wiese not falling too far back from Melbourne Face, but also not being able to catch up at the moment. So I think the tyre wear now starting to play a role here, and this is where it's going to become very interesting, and we're going to see what exactly the guys are struggling with.
No, that's for sure. I mean, you could see it under braking there from Jaco's car, getting all squirmy at the back, trying to keep it straight under brakes.
You see Ryan Lennig there having rejoined. Must be a very frustrating race for him. Down to dead last. He's not going to be happy about that. Unfortunately, you can see that is a pissed off Lurik. And throwing that Camaro all over the place and just trying to get used to the car, and hopefully for him race 2 will go better.
That's for sure, but that happens.
Look at Ernest header there. Ernest header now on the rear bumper of Yannick Coetzee. So Yannick getting some pressure from Ernest. Ernest just quietly going about his race and putting in some good lap times. And it seems like he's caught up to Yanni now, or did Yanni pass him? I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to look at this and see what's happening here.
Someone off there in the background making use of more road than is available.
Taylor Randall there that we saw just going off the grass, really getting used to this Mustang, and as I said, it's a completely different beast to drive, and this is a huge learning curve for him for sure.
I think for all newcomers, it's not the faint-hearted car. You really got to be cautious and take your time.
And you see Chantal de Jager, our only lady driver, there pulling it off to allow the quick guys to pass. She does not want to get involved in that, and that Camaro actually looking really, really nice with the pink and black and blue.
Yeah, really, really stunning livery right there.
You see Michael Rush there, also still in 5th place, and he's got no pressure. He's just putting in the laps, and good solid 5th place. That will see him also getting good points towards the championship, and he might find himself within the top 5.
Well, that'll be absolutely spectacular. I mean, like you say, no pressure at all, easy points, just being consistent, and you can focus on preserving the tyres. Or Donnie liking the grass there at the moment.
Well, interesting enough, you can see Jeff is just running away with it at the moment. So you can see Jeff coming now towards White, and only there you see Donnie coming through. So Jeff is pulling a massive gap. I'm not sure if Donnie had some sort of incident, but he is definitely struggling with that car.
Yeah, you can see also Jeff driving the socks off of that car.
He's absolutely loving this car. I mean, yeah, he was not a big rear-wheel drive fan, but now he's in the rear-wheel drive in the BTCC League running, and he's here in the rear-wheel drive and he's absolutely loving it.
I don't know, I think Donnie also accepting that there may not be enough time to catch Jeff LaRue in front, and you can see with the amount of understeer they're really, really struggling.
So Donnie coming under attack now by Melbourne close. Melbourne definitely catching up to Donnie, but will he run out of time? Will he be able to do it? And Jaco Wiese just hanging in there, he's not falling back, and this could be an interesting battle. Oh, and Melbourne going to the grass there, that's going to lose him a lot of time. So all that work he had making up to Donnie, that is all gone, and he's going to fall back into the claws of Jaco Wiese there.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple of corners to get grass off those tyres.
You can see the Camaro really unsettled with the grass on the tyres. Melbourne's struggling for grip now, and this is going to allow Jaco to creep right up, and they're about 3/4 through the race. So Jaco can smell 3rd place. He's going to hunt down that podium, and he's not going to hold back. That I can promise you.
You would see it pushing hard, almost losing the rear end there. But he's really, really attacking the corners now.
As we go towards the battle at the back here again, Yannick Coetzee. So Yanni is pulling away from Ernest either. So in actual fact, I do believe Yanni was then past Ernest and slowly pulling away there in the Compass Mustang.
Yeah, well, Yanni unfortunately going off earlier and just trying to make up some lost ground.
Currently the field pretty much spread out. Lyle Ramsey also trying to make up for lost ground. Big accident, but he fixed that car and is back on track, and again just trying to bag the points, because towards the end of the league 1 point can make the difference for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it can even get so tight where 1 point will split 3 or 4 drivers.
And you see Lyle there passing Chantal, but back to the lead, and Jeff LaRue, I'm pretty sure is he's still opening that gap. He is really flying. So Donnie has some problems, and you can see both Jaco and Melbourne catching up to him, and Dani is not going to be very comfortable with that at the moment.
No, that's for sure. I mean, but like I said, I think Donny just knowing that he can pretty much settle for second, not willing to risk a non-finish just to try and keep second at bay.
I think second place, 23 points, 22 points up for grabs there. All his contenders in the championship is behind him, so he's going to be more than happy with the second place.
You can still see he's driving very, very hard, so I'm sure he's really struggling with the tyre wear.
You can see Jaco there. He's just not able to catch up to Melbourne at the moment. Melbourne pushing that Kamado really, really hard, and Jaco trying to get that third place. These guys do tend to have some epic battles, and it would be very interesting to see if Jaco, when he actually catches up, if he catches up, what's going to happen.
Well, you also raise a good question, because, I mean, you could clearly see the ride-out difference between the Camaro and the Mustang, and although you'd think that the Mustang is a lot more stable with a lower setup, it doesn't seem like it gains that extra bit of speed.
What I've noticed about him, especially on Jaco's car, the car is very squirmish under braking, so that might be where he's losing some time. It's almost as if the car nosedives into the ground and then unsettles the rear.
I would only think that it bottoms out, making it very, very difficult.
Melbourne almost losing it there. So
that was a big brown moment.
Bit quick on the power, almost losing it there. I think he's pushing really hard to try and catch Dani. You can smell Dani, but they're running out of laps. They've got about 2 laps to go, and Dani van Rooyen is going to know this. He's not going to hold back, but you can see. Oh, and Jaco now losing it. So
big save there.
Massive save there by Jaco. Almost, if he lost it there, it would have been in the wall. It would have been game over for sure.
Yeah, that's tricky, because that would have been right around. But Jaco, not scared, is still going to attack with maximum effort, literally.
Talking about maximum effort, there we see the guy, maximum effort, sponsor of the series, and I think this is the car Dani loves the most on the Assetto Corsa, and he is currently in second place, and he is maintaining that gap line, so it could be that even though his tyres are finished, that he settled down for second, decided, okay, let's take the points and concentrate on race 2.
No, that's for sure. I mean, it'll put him in a better starting position for race 2 as well, given that we'll run a reverse grid.
Ooh, and look at that, Dani flicking the car in, trying to get the understeer out, and well, it works for him. But here we have the man of the moment, Jeff Leroux, leading by a country mile, almost 6 seconds between him and Dani, taking it home. I think he's got 2 more laps to go, and no pressure at all.
Yeah, no pressure at all, just bringing it home, and just taking it easy. You can see Dani really pushing, Melvin pushing hard. Everybody's just 100%, but I think that's the race.
That's the last lap, so there we go. And you see Dani immediately popping to the pits, so surely that was Dani had some issues with either setup or the car, and the guys having a bit of fun there. Melbourne goes taking 3rd place, Jaco in 4th, Michael Rusley taking 5th place, so job well done. He's going to be happy with the points he's going to be able to grab, and race 2 coming up with the full reverse grid. That should be a very interesting one.
That will be.
These cars sounded absolutely fantastic, and I think one of the best mods that we've seen in a very long time on this game. But
that's for sure. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant.
It's an absolute jolt to drive this car, and because it changes so much with the tires and the fuel characteristics and everything, it's absolutely fantastic to drive.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before where the guys have started running harder compounds, and it was like at Karami a sacrifice of like 2 or 3 seconds a lap, Really, really difficult.
You lose so much, it's just basically not worth it. And a very interesting one we're going to have here for you guys. A full reverse grid, but this time round we know Ryan is quick and he's actually standing on pole. So this could play into his benefit for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ryan losing out too much time in the first race, but managing to finish the first race, finishing last though, but brings him to the front of the field. I'm definitely sure he's going to drive the wheels off of that car to try and stay ahead, because he knows Jeff Leroux, Donny van Rooyen, Melvin Goos, Jaco Wiese is going to be on his heels.
Well, there's 50 cars on track, and those guys has to come through that whole field. Hopefully it all goes well into turn one. Usually there is a bit of chaos, but hopefully this time round, and you can see the guys pulling off there. Michael Rust getting a fantastic start there. Peter Gelden struggling to get off the line. Lyle Ramsey also a fantastic start on the inside. Michael Rust on the
inside. Leroux making an outstanding start there.
And a bit of contact there. And that's, you could see again how Jeff Leroux losing a lot of points there. So that start was all for nothing, unfortunately for him.
Oh, there's more contact.
And Ryan Lurik there getting away with it. Oh, and Jeff, another off there. Unfortunately, that was a big accident. We missed that one, sadly. But that is the end of, you can see that car is not happy at all. That is definitely going to be the end of the race for Jeff. So, from 0 to 0 in a matter of a couple of meters, sadly for Mr. Leroux.
Yeah, that car really, really broken. And really, first lap round, that's going to be a real difficult car to drive for the rest of the race.
I think he's going to pull this one and go to the pit, see if he can fix the car and come back out. But yeah, as you can see, the car is just not, it is properly damaged.
No, that's almost undrivable.
But Ryan Luke there, starting from first, pulling a gap immediately. He knows he's going to have to push this car. And Donny van Rooyen already up into second place, I believe. No, Jaco Wiese ahead of him. So Michael Rust and Jaco Wiese currently ahead. So Donny in fourth place, Melvin Goos in fifth place. But Michael Rust having a superb start, getting through all the carnage, and he is currently in second place.
Yeah, he's definitely going to feel a lot more comfortable. And again, you know, good points finishing. Oh, lots of understeer there. That surely doesn't help. Jaco's going to make use of that completely.
Jaco saw that. Jaco also knows that Donny is on his way, but Michael is not going to give up that position so easy. Side by side as we're going to turn one there. Jaco's got the line. Michael on the outside. Jaco backs out of it. Michael retakes second place. But all of this is allowing Donny van Rooyen to be right at the back of him. This time round, Donny is definitely
really going for it.
And we know Donny is quick through traffic. What is he going to do? Jaco looking for a place there. Donny now on the rear bumper of Jaco Wiese. Jaco Wiese breathing down Michael Rust's neck. And in the background there we see Melvin Goos and Ernest there. They're also catching up to this little battle now. So this is a very interesting battle developing here for second place.
It's going to be tough. I mean, Michael, not the easiest person to pass either. I mean, a mistake was made, time was gained, but yeah, he's not gonna give that position up very easily.
No, he knows he's in second place. He wants the points. He's actually up into the top 3 in the championship, so he is going to want to try and get as many points as possible, and that's going to mean he has to keep these guys holding at bay.
It's going to be a lot of work for Donny and Jaco to make their way forwards and gain the podium positions.
It seems like Jaco's fallen back a bit, and Michael putting a slight gap. So not sure how come or why. It could be tire temps, but it's a bit of a seesaw battle at the moment on who's catching who.
Like I said in the first heat, I felt like Jaco's setup not really quite so strong in the first 2 or 3 laps, but really then does come alive and has a peak point, and it's not quite there yet.
We see Ryan Lurik knowing he has to run, and he has got to run quick, and he's doing just that. He's pulled a nice little gap over these guys. Michael Rust in second place, Jaco Wiese in third, Donny van Rooyen in fourth. An epic battle going on for second place here. And these guys, you can see them using the track
It's
and
very
ball.
hard. Yaku
Very late on the brakes. Look at Dani.
Makes it go.
Well, they're side by side. Michael backing out of it, deciding no, he's not going to get involved with this. So Yaku into second place there, and Dani van Rooyen into third place. Dani now going to put his sights on Yaku and try and see if he can catch up to him and actually pass him. But Yaku seems a lot quicker this time round, and I think it did change a bit of the setup for sure.
Yeah, the car definitely looks a lot more stable now as well.
You see the background there, Melbourne close now, he's closing up with Michael, and he's going to be hoping to get through quickly, and a bit sideways there. Michael moves out of the way, but Melbourne has not got the run there. So Michael deciding he does not want to get involved in these battles, but he's still moving. He hasn't backed out of it.
Oh, there's a lot of track use there.
Absolutely, 110% here. Not
And look how much time it's dropped.
That cost him an easy second and a half for sure.
But it's so difficult when you're following another driver on the limit and they go off. You tend to always join with it.
Yeah, and with these cars, with the wings and the aerodynamic it's got, if you get too close, you do feel they go light, and it's not the easiest thing to sit up right behind a guy to go through the corners. We see Ryan there lapping one of the, I think that is the car of Leon Berger, also his first race with SRA, and getting to drop through the car. Fantastic to have them here, and everybody starts somewhere. Everybody did start somewhere, and you can be sure these guys will be getting quicker and quicker as the more they race.
And this battle is just getting really, really heated at the moment. Ooh.
Moving out of the way there, and look, oh, Melvin's almost losing it there. So he's really trying to get past Michael. He knows Dani's right up front. He knows Yaku is there. These guys are absolutely battling it to the bone.
Not the easiest challenges, but yeah, I mean, one person making a mistake, it drops the whole pack backwards.
Yeah, and as soon as they bunch up, it's anyone's game who's gonna benefit and who's gonna fall back. And you see Melbourne running sideways there. He's really pushing very, very hard. That might cost him some time. Michael just keeping it clean, and Michael keeping up with Dani van Rooyen there. So Michael absolutely flying in race 2 here.
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, not holding back and yeah, gaining the points, which is most rewarded, and keeping it clean and consistent, and not overdriving the car. Tires will definitely last better towards the end.
Yeah, Jakovic now coming attack from Dani, so nothing in it. I mean, it's these cars are literally a second apart from second to fourth, and everybody, and Dani, you can see Dani is really, really pushing that Mustang super hard, trying to catch Jaco, and Jaco not holding back at all.
And Mustang's really making their presence felt here.
Very wide,
running really well. Again, that same old story about being so close to behind someone and following off.
You just lose so much aero that, and Melvin there on the inside of Michael, can he make it pass? Yeah, Michael backs out of it. Melvin now passed. Yep, Michael, and he's going to push as hard as he possibly can now to try and catch up to Dani and Jaco, because Jaco and Dani, as soon as they get into a battle, that's going to slow them down.
No, that's for sure. I mean, if they do numerous passing attempts, where they overtake each other a couple of times, it's definitely going to bring down the pace.
Dani really going for it now. He knows Ryan is up front. He is going to want to catch him. He wants to maximize on the second race. Had a bit of horrible racing. Well, not a horrible race. He came second, but he was not happy with the car. He said he hit a wall, and that bent the front steering arm, causing him to lose leads of time. And that explains why he was completely off pace in race 1.
No, that's for sure. But round 2, he's really feeling a lot more confident and showing what he's fully capable of in the car.
And Jakob is not making it easy at all. Again, that grass. He's really trying.
Gonna go on the outside.
He's got to go for the undercut here.
Oh, that is super late braking. Not quite.
Yeah, putting the car in just the right places to keep Dani at bay for the moment.
Well, remembering Yaku was a very overhanded motorsports and knowing exactly what to do when it's needed.
And again, one of the drivers that's brilliant to race with, but not easy to pass. And they come down the straight, main straight here. Dani van Rooyen on the inside, Jakovic on the outside. Is Dani going to be able to make the pass? They're very late on the brakes, both of them. Dani does
not have an answer for that.
And a quick, clean pass by Dani, and now he's going to heads down and he's going to chase after Ryan Lurik in the Camaro, who's currently got not too much of a lead. And he will know that, he will see that Dani is now behind him. And he's going to have to put the hammer down and also try and keep that tyres intact towards the end of the race.
That's going to be the biggest challenge. We know Ryan also not getting the most time of practice in, so not being able to dial in the setup that nicely for tyre preservation.
And that's one thing, as soon as these tyres go off, you lose up to 2 seconds a lap quickly, and also the car just starts to wheel spin, and it's actually, it's a fun way to drive it, but it's not the quickest way.
No, especially when you're in front.
You can see Yaku, Dani's slowly pulling away, but not that much. Yaku is really still pushing super hard, and Michael Rusty in the background staying up. If these guys make one single mistake, Michael is going to be right there to take these positions away.
Again, I mean, talk about mistakes. Melbourne using more than the track, so Michael gonna see that and he's gonna say, "I'm waiting for that."
And unfortunately, there for Lyle Ramsey, massive incident between him and Jeff Lurie when Lyle spun and Jeff had nowhere to go. So Jeff, unfortunately, out of the race. Lyle going back to the pit, repairing the car, and back on track. Chantal de Jager there also all on her very own. She calls these cars oversized bumblebees. And that is exactly what they are.
An handful at that as well.
Ernest Heather there. Not a lot going on at the moment. Mid-pack, the guys not very close, but the biggest dice at the moment is here between currently Melbourne close catching up to Yaku. So this could be a very interesting turnout, because race 1 they were right on top of each other.
Melbourne with a leg dive there.
The Camaro very strong on the brakes here, and we've seen it a couple of times, and the Mustang's not that good with the braking.
I'm sure it's got something to do with the rod height, because I mean that's the most obvious difference we can see. In the Camaros allowing the nose to dive, and where the Mustangs don't.
Yeah. That's very interesting actually. Yeah, the Camaro's a lot better on the brakes, and Melbourne getting a good run there side by side there. Not giving an inch. Is Melbourne is going to line up for the inside? Will he be able to take it? It's a very tricky one. You can see Yaku almost losing it under braking there.
Goodness, that is ballsy.
And look at this. All of this is allowing Michael Ross to catch right up. Yaku is not going to hold back. He wants that position back. He wants third place.
But what sportsmanship? I mean, plenty of room given, but absolutely hard racing, clean racing. Wow, that was a spectacular move.
And Yaku not holding back there. Yaku has not given up. He wants that third place. A bit of a touch there, just runs into the back of Melbourne, but he breaks it, he lets him go. And Michael going grass hopping there, and so these guys are really pushing hard. And look at Dani van Rooyen. Dani has now broken away from this pack, and he's pushing really hard to try and catch up with Ryan Lurik, who is currently still in the lead. And having passed the back markers, lost some time, so this puts Dani in a more favourable position to try and catch up.
Yeah, Dani making big headway on catching Ryan, then yeah, definitely closing the gap there. Dani's going to make easy work on back markers.
So Dani absolutely on a fly. You can see the times having already dropped a bit due to tyre wear, but not that much. It's basically all round about half a second off for all these cars, and but they're all running similar times, so it's going to be very tricky to see or say what is going to happen towards the end.
That's for sure. But I mean, now is where it's going to be concentration, smooth driving, and being cautious on the throttle, because the second race you don't want to throw it away.
No, for sure. And Jakovice is not giving up. He wants that third place back, and you can see he's pushing that Mustang really hard on the outside of the back marker. Melvin on the inside.
Oh, that back marker really not knowing where to go.
Jakob on the outside of Melvin, so that's played into his favour. And they touch again. So these two guys, Melvin onto the gravel there, that's going to hand Jakob back, so Jakob takes third place.
Oh no, mistakes.
So again, the back marker catching Melvin out, as what happened in the third round, and that's handed third place right back to Jakob. Melvin there sideways, and we see one of the cars going to the wall there, but Jakob's going to be happy now. He's back into third place, and Melvin has got his work cut out to try and catch up, and Michael Rust all the time is just sitting there waiting for these things to happen and pick up the pieces if they go on like this.
No, that's for sure. I mean, but Jaco also not knowing, Jaco knowing that he can't mess around. He knows that he has to keep Melvin at bay, so he still has to drive the socks off it, because he knows that Melvin is slightly better on the brakes than what he is, and there's no room for error.
This is, as I said, currently the biggest battle on track. So we're going to try and keep tabs on this one. If you look here, Dani van Rooyen now, is he catching up to Ryan? Yes, you can see Dani is slowly and surely catching up to Ryan for sure, and that is going to come down to the tyre wear between these two cars.
And it's going to come down to the wire. Has Dani got enough laps to actually catch Ryan?
Well, they're about 3/4 through, so they've got about 3 laps remaining, and Dani is really pushing super hard. In the meantime, Jakovice trying to keep the gap ahead, but Melvin is catching up to him. Melvin wants the third place back now, so these guys are super epic battle for third place, and you can see Jako's very late on the brakes, and that Mustang again, as soon as he gets on the brake, getting very squirmish.
And you can talk about squirmish, you can see Melvin there very early on the throttle, also squirmish under acceleration.
These guys are absolutely at 110%. Jaco is not going to give up this position.
Not easily, that's for sure.
Super late on the brakes.
That Camaro's brakes are good.
Melvin on the rear bumper there of Jaco. Is he going to try and make a move? He's going to try and go for it. He's going to try and get a different line, it seems, to try and get the run on the main straight. Jaco just covering grounds there.
You can see Jaco driving very defensively. He knows that he's really struggling to keep Melvin at bay.
And they are right behind each other. Melvin has got the slip. Will he be able to make the pass? He's going side by side with Jaco.
Super late on the brakes. Oh, very nice pass. Oh, and Melvin gets squirmy. Is they going to drop in time?
So Jaco
just manages to hold that off. Goodness.
I want to see what's happening, but this dice is actually quite good. We're going to hop into Dani's car just for a minute to see if he is not caught up to Ryan yet, but he is pushing really hard trying to get there, and Ryan pushing extremely hard to hold Dani back. So this also, in the closing stages of the race, could become a very interesting battle.
Dani has made up a lot of ground there though.
Past Jaco there. Jaco now absolutely pushing it to the limit. He wants that position back. These guys have been fighting like this since the beginning of the race, and it doesn't seem like there's going to be any kind of settling down between them.
No, and you can see Jaco definitely braking a lot later than what one usually should be doing with a Mustang.
Tracking more, he really wants that third place. This is absolutely epic battle between these two guys. Oh, Melvin running a bit wide. That's going to cost him some time. Now Jaco is up to his rear bumper. Will he be able to return the favour down the back straight and repass Melvin?
And let's not forget Michael Rust at the back. They're just hanging on there very casually.
And he's waiting for these guys to mess it up. And usually in a battle like this, sometimes it does go wrong.
It usually does.
And look at this, Dani van Rooyen right on the rear bumper of Ryan. So Ryan is running out of tyres and Dani is running out of laps. So this should be very, very interesting towards the end to see what's going to happen.
It's going to get very, very close. I mean, there's going to be nothing in it. I mean, Donnie is making that gap smaller and smaller by the second. It really is getting down to nothing. Wonder if Ryan's going to have an answer for that.
Not too sure. You can see Donnie absolutely flying about a second a lap quicker at the moment. And so Ryan's tyres completely ruined, where Donnie has got some sort of grip and he's making good use of it at the moment.
He's definitely looked after his tyres very well this far.
And Jacobs is still on the attack. It's a bit difficult trying to keep up with both these dices. They've got 2 more laps to go. And Jaco will be seeing that on his screen and he will be giving it his all trying to get that third place back. You see Dani van Rooyen there.
Really making an easy pass there. Is he going to make it stick though?
Ryan very late on the brakes again. You see the Camaro just being able to outbrake the Mustang, but Dani on the inside. Ooh, bit of contact there between the two. Ryan hanging onto it. And Dani makes the pass. Ryan backs out of it, deciding he does not want to get involved in this. And
but he's not going to give up though. And really going to have the drive of their life now. I mean, last lap, surely it's going to be a fight to the end.
A lot happening. Really want to see what's going on here. They go through here. We're going to follow these guys going into turn 1. Jaco on the rear bumper of Melbourne goes there. No, he cannot make that one stick.
But makes huge progress there.
And then back to the fight for the lead. Dani van Rooyen not pulling away from Ryan, so Ryan is really pushing this car to try and keep up. And then back to the fight for third place. Melbourne going sideways there, pushing the tyres of this Camaro. Jaco Visser, is he going to go for a pass on the inside? This is the last lap, guys. This is the battle for third place.
Absolutely nail-biting stuff.
And we literally don't know where to look. Dani van Rooyen ever so slightly pulling away from Ryan there, so we're going to stick with this one. These guys are fighting for third place. It's a hard battle. And Jaco on the inside of Melbourne House is going to make a pass here. Jaco is very late there, side by side. We have seen them pass each other here.
But Jaco not giving up there.
Actually getting on the brake there, so he had a better drive, but he knew he couldn't get on the inside there, and Melbourne trying to make the Camaro as wide as possible.
Very wide.
Through there.
Absolutely spectacular.
Guys, this is the last lap. It's a battle for third place. Dani van Rooyen there. Ryan on his rear bumper. But I think Dani has got this one in the back, unless Ryan pulls out something special. I don't think he has it. Dani van Rooyen then coming on to take first place. Second place, Jaco Visser. But look at this. Jaco Visser and Melbourne go side by side onto the main straight. This is the final drag towards the end of the race, and Michael Russ also hanging in there.
He was hoping for something to happen, but it hasn't worked out yet.
Also across the line, side by side, epic stuff there. Dani van Rooyen celebrating with some donuts in the Mustang. He pushed super hard all the way from the back. Ryan had no answers. The tyres on that Camaro just didn't work, and it played into Dani's favour for sure.
Dani definitely preserved his tyres well, but yeah, that last lap I think was the end of his tyre life.
Well guys, there you have it, round 3 of the SRA maximum effort V8 Supercars, and once again a lot of action. We tried to cover as much of it as we possibly could. Unfortunately, most of the field pretty much spread out, but we did have some good battles, and we stuck to those ones for the race. And yeah, looking forward to the touring cars next week. This time round at Aldus Cribante, and so far the rear-wheel drive has been stronger on both Tony Russ and Kilani, but going into Aldous Kribantu this coming weekend, we have seen that the front-wheel drives are a lot stronger than the rear-wheel drive, so it's going to be a very interesting race to watch for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a complete game changer and a complete twist to the series. I mean, yeah, it's not like the V8s where, you know, everyone's battling the same amounts, where the BTCC cars will be track and car dependent. Which one will favor it?
Yeah, it's going to be, as I said, quite interesting to watch it, and yeah, we hope to see all you guys here, those watching the stream. Thanks for watching. Ryan, thanks for joining on your Sunday evening. Again, we did it with enough time for the guys to go grab a snack, watch the movie with the wife, and yeah, tomorrow it's back to school, back to work for everyone. Have a safe week, and we will see you on Sunday for the British Touring Cars.
We will see you then.
Cheers, guys.